Hello, everyone. This lesson is power rule. If you'll recall, we've gone over in previous videos the product rule, which is where if you multiply terms at the same base, you add the exponents, and also the quotient rule, where if you divide terms at the same base, you subtract the exponents. So today, power rule is taking a power to a power. So you notice there's going to be an inside exponent and an outside. So this is x to the 7th to the 2nd. We're taking a power to a power. So if we expanded it out, it would be x7 times x7. All right, so twice. Collect all the x's, you get x to the 14th. All right, again, we have some inside powers, 2 and 3. And the outside power is 4. And, you could think of parentheses as like a basket. Everybody in the basket is getting taken to the 4th power. So that means this is happening 4 times x to the 2nd y to the 3rd times x to the 2nd y to the 3rd times x to the 2nd, y to the 3rd, messed up the x there, times x to the 2nd, y to the 3rd. And if you collect all the x's, that's 8 x's. And if you collect all the y's, 3, 3, 3, 3, that is 12y. All right. Again, we have an inside power. And you might notice that y has the invisible 1. So 1 is the inside power, 2 is outside power. And then we got a special case of a coefficient. All right. So this is getting written out twice because the outside power is 2. Let's go ahead and put a 1 there. 3, x3 to the 1. All right, if you collect all the x's, that's 6 x's. 2 y's, and then 3 times 3 is just 9, all right? They're just, 3 and 3 are just regular coefficients, so you just multiply them. All right, so what's the pattern? Well, the pattern is to get the third result, to get the answer in the third column. And when writing this rule, I'm just going to focus on the exponents, not the coefficients. To get the answer in the third column, okay, what's the pattern? Well, you multiply. The inside exponent by the outside exponent. Let me just abbreviate exponent there. So going back up to this first row, what's 7 times 2? Oh, yeah, it's 14. What's 2 times 4? It's 8. 3 times 4 is 12. Do you see? The pattern is you multiply the inner exponent inside the parentheses times the outside. 3 times 2, that's 6. 1 times 2 is 2. Now, that just covers variables and their floating exponents. So for coefficient, going back to the 3 here, 3, it's not 3 times 2. People want to think, oh, it's 3 times 2. No, it's 3, and then it's to the power of 2, which you can put in your calculator. 3 caret. Caret is above the division symbol on a TI-84. 3 caret 2 is 9. All right. So this is called the power rule. We're taking a power to a power, so you multiply the powers. That's expressed symbolically down here. A to the m. M is the inner parentheses, n is the outer. You just multiply. It's the power rule. You multiply the powers, the exponents. Notice how I'm using power and exponents interchangeably. Of course, there's some examples. I'll complete those really quickly. 5 to the power 6, you multiply. 5 times 6 is 30. 3 times 5 is 15. All right, now everybody inside the parenthesis is to the power of 2. So you multiply. 3 times 2 is 6. 5 times 2 is 10. The invisible 1 times 2 is 2. All right. Everybody gets taken to the power of 3. Now, a regular number like 5, that's 5 to the third. So in your calculator, you would put 5 to the third. And then 2 times 3 is 6. 4 times 3 is 12. But you got to simplify. Why is 5 to the third? Put that in the calculator. Again, to put in the calculator, use the caret button. If you have a TI-84, that's above the division symbol. All right, 7 to the second. There's some invisible ones. They get carried over. 7 to the second is 49. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 2 is 2. Now, one thing that you should... Oh, what did I do? Well, I apparently hit the wrong button. Let's see if it'll come back. Here we go. Okay. So one thing that you should know is that if you have a negative coefficient, it's safe to put it in a parentheses, because sometimes if you don't use the parentheses, you get the wrong answer. So you multiply. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 3 is 12. And this should be negative 64x9, y12.